What is Marathon? There are so many questions around this game. I am honored to say that I got to fly out to Bungie and actually play the game myself before the alpha even came out. So I have around 100 hours of gameplay, so let's talk deeper about the game. Marathon is an extraction shooter game, which means you go in, loot, and get out alive. But this game has so much more than just that. There are 4 runners you can choose from, and we'll talk specifics in a bit. These runners are Blackbird, Void, Glitch, and Locust. All of them providing you with different abilities you can use, but they are not used to primarily win gunfights against another player. Next, you'll set up your loadout and backpack. Bring a weapon, heals, shields, ammo, a bigger backpack so you can loot more stuff, and whatever else you want to bring. The game offers you to join a faction that give contracts, complete a challenge on your contract to gain rewards and upgrades to use for your upgrade tree. Now, you're ready to play the game. You can start the match with a full team of 3, or let the game fill the rest of your teammates out for you, or even disable it so you just go in solo. You will then face against teams of 3, duos, or even solos with a full lobby of 18 players, and that does not count the iiizwerg. Yes, you won't just face real players, but AI as well, and they are no joke. You can tell them apart because they look different, but they can play just as aggressive as any player can. So, what do you do in a game? You complete your contract, look for hidden rooms with loot to scavenge everything you can and use for upgrades, or get that adrenaline rush while hunting other runners in the game. Then make it safely to your extraction zone and get out alive. Now, you've brought everything back to your lobby to then decide if you want to sell it on the market, craft items like shields, heals, and other things, or use them for upgrades. This was just a very short overview of the game, so now let's talk specifics. Starting with loot. Loot can be found anywhere. iiizwerg, runners, locked rooms, on the ground, orange flares, absolutely everywhere. Loot is categorized by color rarity, so gray, green, blue, purple, and yellow, with yellow being the rarest one. I mean, there's just so much good loot. Some loot that you find will automatically be sold as you're extracting from your match, while others you have to manually sell at the black market or then keep in your vault. There are different types of backpacks, some smaller, some bigger. Different types of ammo depending on what weapon you're using, like a sniper or SMG, and you can even pick up plants around the map. But if you want that really good loot, well, that can be found behind a locked chest, a locked room, or even an orange flare. Keys are really rare. If you ever find one, the pressure will be up there because it's your decision if you want to open up a locked door or room, or if you want to keep it on you until a different match. There are 2 types of keys, one for boxes and one for rooms, and if you ever happen to get the ones for a room, it should tell you which one specifically it is for. Personally, I've never opened up a locked room, but I have opened up several locked boxes. And yes, they had quite some spicy things in there. Orange flares, one of my favorite. Something you will find in only one area of the entire map. They usually spawn on top of a building. Find your way inside to some endless amount of loot, but be careful because you're not the only one that sees that orange flare. Open up your map and hover over certain places like Complex or the greenhouse, and it will give you an entire list of items and materials that can be found in that area. This is very helpful for your contracts. If your contract asks you to find wires, find out on the map where they're located, go over there and get to looting. Moving on to factions and upgrades. With a few choices, select a faction that fits you. Each faction has different types of upgrade trees, for example, having a bigger vault space or looting at a faster time, and there's so much more. But don't feel pressured because you can always switch to a different faction, at least from the way I played it. Not only does a faction give you upgrades, but you can also borrow some of their loadouts in case you don't have anything to go inside the match with. For example, it can give you weapons, shields, health kits, backpacks, it can give you a bunch of stuff. Completing a contract unlocks you more upgrades on your tree, but in order to claim it, you have to find specific materials to bring back to your vault and then exchange it for that upgrade. In-game events. You don't just go in, loot, and get out. I mean, you definitely can if you want to, but this game offers so much more for you to interact with. Yes, you're gonna have to deal with UESC and role players while you're trying to do events, objectives, or even endgame. In certain areas of the map, you'll have mini bosses that spawn in, especially where that giant cool square is in the sky. These numbered orange pads you can actually do with your fire team. You activate one and it's going to give you a series of different numbers that you have to find around a map and also activate. Once you've done all of them, you will get a boss to kill with a bunch of loot. Ever come across these white landing zones? Activate it and it will drop you a bunch of boxes with loot, and I think it primarily has weapon stuff in it. Now let's talk exfil. The game will decide which one of the zones you will be extracting from. However, there will be one zone that anyone can go to, and I don't remember if you have to do an objective or if you have to pay for it in order to use it. Pulling up your pad to type a bunch of buttons will start your extraction progress. However, you still have to wait about half a minute until it's actually ready. This will alert your entire lobby where you are about to extract from. You and your team can use this time to loot anywhere nearby, to kill the UESC, or if you have to deal with any runners, definitely take care of them before they shoot you out from your extraction. Whenever your exfil is ready, a timer will pop up on your screen. You and your teammates will have to get inside a specific circle, and that will take you up into the sky and back to your lobby. And yes, this is actually what the exfil looks like, which is why it can alert your entire lobby. Now, I was recently told that there is a new type of exfil that happens when the timer hits 0. In your match, you have about 25 minutes to go in, loot, and get out. But if that timer ever hits 0, you are not going to instantly die. All of the extraction zones are going to despawn except for one. That means everyone currently left in this lobby has to go and fight their way through this last exfil. I believe you only have 3 minutes to do that, and I know people will purposely wait until this point just to take out other runners and steal their loot. So play your cards wisely. Something that we haven't talked about yet is runners. Blackbird, Void, Glitch, Locust. Each runner has abilities that will benefit you and your team in different ways. However, I do not believe that using abilities during your gunfight will guarantee you the win. It depends on the way you approach it and your gunplay. So let's go over all the runners. Starting with Blackbird, she's basically the scanner of your team. Her ultimate is that she sends out this pulse, pinging any enemies inside, and it could be UESC or even runners. She also has a drone that will run after an enemy and explode when near them. The next two abilities are going to be passive. That means you don't actually have to press any buttons in order for it to happen. One of them is that you will receive a warning whenever you're pinged. Performing a finisher will ping the rest of that person's crew around the map, and it doesn't matter where they're located. And lastly, whenever you break another enemy's shield, they're going to leave behind footsteps so you can keep following them and take them out. Next, we have Void. His ultimate will throw down a bunch of smoke around him, disrupting any enemies inside and making you invisible. Another ability you can activate while airborne, which will slam you down to the ground, leaving a smoke bomb around you and making you invisible. Void will have a third ability to activate, and that just makes you invisible whenever you need to get out from a situation. The passive ability is basically that it makes you invis whenever you're inside a smoke bomb. Next, we have Glitch. Her ultimate is to amplify your movement and use less stamina, while her next ability is to shoot cannons out of her arm to launch enemies away. She is also the character that you can double jump with, and her passive ability is that she slides much further than any of the other characters. Lastly, we have Locust. With his ultimate, you can shoot rockets towards an enemy, doing damage and disrupting them. The next ability is that he can hold up the shield in front of him to block any incoming damage. He can also sprint much faster when you double press your sprint button, and his last one is that while you're airborne, you can press another button and that will boost you into the direction you want to go. So that brings us back to our question, what is Marathon? This game cannot be compared to any other games on the market because Bungie really made it its own game. Yes, there may be a few things that are similar to Apex, DMZ, Delta Force, but it really is its own game. If you're wondering what the purpose of this game is, well, I think it is the adrenaline rush that you get while trying to hunt another runner for their loot, or while you are the one being hunted by another. It is the excitement you get from finding a key or even a very rare item. The sadness that you will feel if you were running around with the most valuable items in your inventory and somebody takes you out. But also the relief and powerfulness that you will feel when you go back to your lobby after extracting with so many good things. There are so many goals and achievements that you can have in this game, and I personally loved every second of it when I got to play it. So I hope you do too whenever you get to play the alpha or whenever you play the release. Thank you so much to Bungie and their entire team for allowing me to go out there and playtest the game multiple times. Every time that I have played it, the game has gotten even better. I feel beyond grateful to have gotten to play this game in such early stages. The devs that are working on this game are so passionate and will do anything and everything to fix any problems that the game has had. Thank you so much for listening to my feedback. I cannot wait to play the alpha and see all the changes that have been made from the last time that I got to play, and thank you to you all for always supporting me. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about Marathon, feel free to ask down below or even hop over to my Twitch channel where I stream almost on a daily basis. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye!